together we are the Aviation! Let me ask you, what is your favorite mode of transport? The train, the bus, or you like to fly? If you like to travel in style of an airplane, you will find our research very interesting.
Today we are going to discuss the technology used in flight and its impact on the environment.
Well, first let me tell you how we came up with this unit. It wasn't so easy because Devang wanted to inquire about gravity, I wanted to inquire about invention, and Rudra and Ali wanted to inquire about technology. But we came up with an idea of flight which involves gravity and technology.
It took us time to finalize the unit details, but we were finally ready. In the beginning of the year, we started inquiring into technology used in aeronautics, the branch of engineering, which deals with the development of aircraft. Our group is obsessed with the technology. You see, during our research, we came across the environmental impact in the aviation industry, and our unit took a turn.
Let me now present our central idea. Technology can transform air travel by making it more economical and sustainable. Our research was conducted on three main lines of inquiry. We started with an inquiry into the history of technology in flight, followed by an inquiry into the impact of air travel on the environment. And this leads us to think about LOI 3. How can we make it more sustainable? The key concepts that we focused on are change, function, and connection. Related concepts: transform, technology, and sustainability. Learner profile attributes: thinker, inquirer, and knowledgeable. ATL skills. The unit required us to employ all the ATL skills, especially research skills, social skills, and communication skills.
Learning about the development of technology that enables flight by humans is quite fascinating. Think about what would happen if there were no flights. Let's start with the first flying object, which was a kite. Yes, the first recorded flying object was a kite created in China by Mozi and Luban in the 5th century BC. Though the kite couldn't take any humans off the ground, but it gave an idea of man-made flying objects. Much later, in 1783, a hot air balloon was developed in France. The first passengers in this hot air balloon were animals, followed by 3 men after a month of the successful attempt. After this success, many people started observing the flying birds and bugs to try to imitate the technique and be able to lift off the ground. Various attempts finally led to the development of the Wright Flyer, created in 1903. It was the first ever plane to fly. But there was no looking back after this. It was as if the technology development was in a fast-forward mode. One thing led to the other, and soon enough there were aeroplanes built for different purposes, different capacities, and different requirements. For example, helicopters, jet planes, fighter planes, seaplanes, cargo planes, etc. It is mind-boggling. As a group, we developed our research skills along with the time management skills as we worked on a timeline we made for ourselves. We shared the information we had gathered and checked if it was relevant and then used the information. As I said earlier, the history was fascinating, but at the same time we also came across the impact aviation industry has on our environment. Each innovation comes with a share of benefits and challenges. As fascinating as the journey in an airplane is, I would now like to talk about the impact of air travel on our environment. Just like any other technology, aviation also has distinct benefits and drawbacks. Let me highlight the great contribution it has made for us.
Fastest mode of transport. So far, an airplane is our fastest mode of travel. So, if you must be somewhere far, a flight is best option. Aviation has made it possible for human beings to travel across oceans and continents. Useful for natural calamities. During earthquakes, floods, accidents, and famine, air transport is used for rescue as well as relief operations. Useful for agriculture. Air transport is useful for aerial spray to stop pests and insects from causing harm to crops. Air Force. The Air Force, a fleet of fighter aircraft, is important branch of armed forces for every country.
But just like every coin has two sides, aviation has it too. Now let's talk about the flip side of the coin.
Each time an aircraft is used, it adds more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, causing climate change. Aircrafts contribute to increasing carbon dioxide that comes from human activities. These crafts emit greenhouse gases and particles high in the atmosphere. By doing so, they contribute to global warming. Jet airlines have become 70% more fuel efficient between 1967 and 2007, and carbon dioxide emissions in 2018 were 47% less than those in 1990. We can see that the aviation industry is becoming more fuel efficient, yet the overall emissions have risen in the volume of air travel has increased. The number of flights and the number of people preferring flights are steadily increasing. By 2020, aviation emissions were 70% higher than in 2005 and could grow by 300% by 2050, simply because of increase in the number of passengers.
You're right there, Ali. Now, I will tell you some alternative and idea to tackle the negative impacts. The aviation environmental footprint can be reduced by better fuel economy in aircraft or air traffic control. Flight routes can be optimized to the non-carbon dioxide which affects on the environment. On a trial basis, fossil fuel is being replaced by SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel, which will lead us to reduce the pollution as well as reduce cost for fuel, making it sustainable as well as economical. It's like killing two birds with a single shot.
We can reduce the chances of crashes or accidents by using sustainable aviation fuel, removing unnecessary things, and flying on a larger aircraft. Sustainable aviation fuel or SAF is safe, proven replacement for fossil jet fuel, which has a potential to reduce greenhouse gas emissions up to 80% compared to conventional jet fuel. Removing unnecessary things. A helicopter has beat the world record of 40,000 feet by removing unnecessary things like battery, starter motor, and APU. Instead, they use air start unit. Even there were more unnecessary things removed.
In many countries, aviation industry is under the supervision of government to ensure that the services are kept up to mark and avoid cutting corners by the companies for hefty profits. It is under check to ensure smooth flying for all. As in part of the action plan, we advocate mindful use of aviation.
Thanks for all the information, Ananya, Ali, and Deva. I would now like to talk about the action plan. After the research and finding out about the environmental impact of air travel, we have come up with the idea of creating awareness about the same. We have made a website where we will be sharing information about the devastating effects of traditional fuel used in aviation. We will be putting information about alternative environmentally friendly biofuels also.
As Rudra told, I am now going to explain how this website works and how to use it. Let's begin with the Home tab. Here you will see information about our action plan and our team members and a guide to use the other tabs. The second tab is Alternatives and Ideas. This is a main tab of our website where people can interact with each other and share their alternatives and ideas for preventing planes from affecting the environment and ozone layer. The third tab is Community tab where people can share their suggestions or facts. The fourth tab is called Facts, where you can find some useful information about aircrafts in short phrases. The fifth tab is called Quick Read, where you can find some important information about aircrafts. Well, this was just a guide to use the website. We will keep adding things in it and keep it up to date. That now we have come to an end. I would now like to thank my team and thank you all for listening to us and our presentation. Thank you and bye.